This segment is sponsored by Children's Miracle Network and Anthem Lemonade.
Well, good morning and thank you for joining us for Virginia This Morning. I'm Jessica Nall. Anthem Lemonade is teaming up with local restaurants to raise funds for childhood cancer research, and participating restaurants have been asked to cook up the most unique lemon-inspired dish. This morning we have Travis Milton, chef de cuisine from Comfort Restaurant, putting together a lemon buttermilk pie. Travis, it's great to have you back.
Good morning. It is great to be back.
I'm still drooling over that apple butter stack cake you made for us.
That's one of my favorites. This is probably my favorite dessert in the world. Buttermilk pie, it's a very, very old thing, came via Scotland to America, and one of its first appearances here was in Virginia, and it's kind of been here ever since.
The buttermilk, did it keep really well? Was that part of the secret?
Well, one of the things was you were always making butter, and buttermilk in its truest form is a byproduct of making butter, so you always had it, you didn't want to waste it, and it was traditionally made when you didn't have any fruit left. So you wanted a pie, you had a sweet tooth, so you made some buttermilk pie.
I can identify with that sweet tooth issue and just needing to use what's on hand.
You and me both.
You put a couple good things in here. Tell us what you've already started mixing.
It's an insanely simple recipe. It starts off with 2 egg yolks and 2 whole eggs, a cup and a half of sugar, a half a cup of flour, and then we're going to add some fresh creamery buttermilk.
Okay. Look at how thick that is.
It's very thick, and it's tart and tangy. So you're going to end up with this nice little creamy custard. It's what I call a sugar pie, but a lot of people call it a custard pie.
Okay.
And then a little bit of lemon zest.
I love that when I'm looking at your recipe here that you've handwritten, it says 1 cup good buttermilk. Don't use the cruddy stuff. Is that what you're saying?
I hate using the stuff that you find in the supermarkets because it's not real buttermilk. It's essentially a milk product with some acidophilus added to it to make it thick and sour. But good buttermilk, you can't beat it. I drink it.
Yeah.
I'm one of those weirdos.
Supposed to be good for your system.
It is.
All right.
And then a little bit of lemon juice here at the end. You want to add that at the end always because otherwise it's going to curdle your buttermilk.
That was going to be my question. I've not crossed that hurdle well before and kind of ruined some stuff. So that answers that.
So you end up with this nice custard with a little bit of cinnamon and some lemon zest in it. And I didn't bring a pie crust with me because I can literally go on for the entire show about pie crust.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that to you, nor do I want to get flour on your beautiful paws.
Well, thank you.
So what you would do, you would take this custard, pour it into you can buy a pie shell, you can make your own if you want, and put it in the oven. You'd bake it for about an hour, and then you come up with this right here.
It looks delightful, especially this finished piece you've accented with strawberries, and then the whipped cream, there's a little secret on that too.
Yeah, at Comfort, an old Appalachian recipe that I do is corncob jelly. Another byproduct when you were out of things, you didn't have any honey or any kind of sweetener, you would boil down corn cobs and turn it into a jelly. And I flavor my whipped cream with that. It gives it almost like a Cool Whip texture, but it's definitely better than Cool Whip.
Wow, waste not, want not was definitely the philosophy.
Exactly. Appalachian ingenuity is just sheer brilliance to me.
And this is really, we talked about this when you were with us before with that apple butter stack cake. The Appalachian heritage is very near and dear to your heart. You've been recognized in an issue that's going to be arriving in a lot of mailboxes probably today or tomorrow from Garden and Gun. Yeah,
I have another pie recipe. I've turned into kind of the pie guy. It's an old Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky recipe, green tomato pie, in which they would use green tomatoes to make a pie when you were out of apples. And it literally tastes exactly like an apple pie.
Really?
Blows your mind.
Because I've heard of tomato pie and I've tried it before, but usually that's with like a ripe tomato.
Exactly, it's usually a savory one. What they would do is when you ran out of apple preserves and the apples weren't ready to be picked and somebody, again, had a sweet tooth and wanted an apple pie, so what do? You make it happen. So yeah, they would pick green tomatoes at the height of the growing season when they're kind of sweet, toss them with some cinnamon and sugar, bake them into a pie, and you would never know the difference until you looked down and saw a tomato seed.
And goodness knows this time of the season, you've got tomatoes coming out of your ears anyway, so it's a good way to put them to use.
It's my favorite time of year.
You mentioned that you're now known kind of as the pie guy. Another reason for that was that Garden and Gun also featured a Cheerwine Buttermilk Pie, right?
Yep. I make about 40 different types of vinegar at the restaurant at any given time. Some out of soda pop, some out of vegetables, some out of fruits, you name honeysuckle. I'm doing honeysuckle vinegar right now. That's one of my crazy ones. And Mountain Dew vinegar. I love Mountain Dew vinegar.
How on earth do you make honeysuckle vinegar?
You take and you steep your honeysuckle in some water with a little bit of honey to kill any kind of of bitterness that's going to come out of it. And then you just put it up and let it ferment. Let the yeast in the air do their thing.
All right, let the magic happen.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for showing us how this is done. And thanks for not, making the flour fly today with the pie crust. We appreciate that.
Anytime.
We'll just keep it neat and cut into this beautiful creation.
Awesome.
Travis Milton, thank you so much.
Thank
you can
you.
find a list of participating restaurants and their special creations online at WTVR.com/lemonade challenge. And head out July 18th through the 20th to get your lemon buttermilk pie at Comfort. That's 200 West Broad Street. And their sister restaurant, Pasture, at 416 East Gray Street. They have a variation on the whipped cream. I'm not even going to tell you about it.